Coming up right now at noon, we're following breaking news in the Pearl District. What we know after Portland police kill a person while serving a warrant. Plus, a federal judge rules against the Trump administration over immigration arrests, how it'll affect enforcement operations. And Portland Public Schools is facing another round of budget cuts, where the district is looking to save money and how it might get more funding. And later, we're getting ready for Super Bowl 60, but a key member of the Seattle Seahawks defense may not be able to play. Thanks so much for joining us here at noon. I'm Stephanie Domerat. We're following breaking news in Northwest Portland, where police shoot and kill a person early this morning. It happened in the Pearl District along Northwest 14th and Quimby. Corey Johnson joins us live from the scene. Corey, what have you learned?
Yeah, good afternoon, Stephanie. According to PPB, this investigation actually began last Saturday afternoon when the suspect involved in this morning's shooting pulled out a gun on two security guards at the Safeway on 14th and Lovejoy. Now, in that incident, police say he pulled the trigger, but the gun did not fire. There was a scuffle with the security officers, and then one of the security officers grabbed his bag before that suspect fled the scene, and police ended up finding a loaded shotgun in that bag. Now, through an investigation, the officers were able to determine exactly where that man lived around Northwest 14th Avenue. So fast forward to this morning, authorities attempted to serve a warrant to that man with help from a crisis negotiator and tactical officers. Around 5 a.m., police say they evacuated the entire 10th floor of the Vibrant apartment building, deployed gas to get the man to come out, and when he did, shots were fired and the suspect died at the scene. Now, we asked PPB if gunfire was exchanged between officers and the man. That is still unclear at this time, but police say a handgun was recovered at the scene. We also spoke with one man this morning who lives on the floor below where that shooting happened and about his experience this morning.
And I'm freaking out because I'm looking out the window, I'm seeing there's already cop cars there, there's a searchlight on the building. Yeah, it was complete and utter chaos. The officers were going door to door, making sure people were safe, telling them to stay inside. It's like 30 feet away from where we sleep at night. I definitely did not expect it in my building. I mean, I'm 9 stories up in the Pearl.
Now, PPB did confirm that 2 officers were involved in that shooting. Specifically, neither of them were injured. And according to Portland Police Chief Bob Day, an internal investigation is now underway. Now, we are here at the corner of Northwest Raleigh and 14th Avenue, where it is still taped off with crime scene tape. Several streets also blocked off as well, in addition to this one, and will be for several hours as this investigation continues. Stephanie?
All right, Corey, thank you so much for that update. The Tillamook School District will be closed today after a threat circulating on social media and through phone calls. Though they did not specifically say what kind of threat it was, the district says law enforcement is actively investigating. They say at this time there's not enough information to determine if the threat is credible, but classes are canceled today out of an abundance of caution. Let's get to your weather now. Meteorologist Chris McGinnis joining us with a look at that. Hey, Chris.
Brilliant sunshine at the beach, in the valley, up and down the I-5 corridor. Not so much over across the east side. This is a live look right now at our satellite, actually over the last 3 hours, and you can see the progress the high thin cloud cover has made over the valley, and also that low cloud lockdown, if you will, east of the Cascades. So Jefferson, Wasco County, and points east into the Columbia Basin. You folks are dealing with this. This is the live look right now from Oregon's Veterans Home in the Dalles, where it's currently 47 and cloudy, and I don't expect those temperatures to go very far. Meanwhile, west side of the state where the sun is out, it is warm. It's up to 60 degrees now at lunchtime in Tigard, close to it in West Linn at 59, and Salem not far behind either at 53. Last check at the airport, by the way, we're in the upper 50s as well. There is an east breeze out of the gorge, and you especially feel that east of I-205 and getting out towards Troutdale, where wind gusts have been 45 plus miles an hour this morning. That east breeze will continue, but the sunshine will also continue. And so temperatures here in Portland probably inching up towards 60. The record for today, 58. So near record or record warmth in our Thursday forecast. Then we dial it back a little bit tomorrow. And after days and days of dry weather, Stephanie, there is rain, multiple days of rain in the 7-day forecast. More on that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right. I'm sure a lot of people will be happy about that, Chris. Thank you. A federal judge has ruled immigration agents in Oregon must stop arresting people without warrants unless they are likely to escape. The ruling is a preliminary injunction as part of a proposed class action lawsuit. The judge heard testimony about arrests in question, including the arrest of Victor Cruz, a Hillsborough grandfather. Now, Cruz says he was arrested and held in an immigration detention facility for 3 weeks, even though he has a valid work permit and a pending visa application. The judge called actions of agents in Oregon, quote, violent and brutal, and said he had concerns about the administration denying due process. We reached out to the Department of Homeland Security but have not heard back, though in court filings the government says in part, quote, plaintiffs cannot establish they are likely to suffer irreparable harm in the absence of an injunction because the harm they fear is speculative. Adding an injunction would interfere with an exclusive function of the president to enforce immigration. Still, courts in Colorado and Washington, D.C. have issued similar rulings to the judge here in Oregon. The federal government is now appealing those decisions.
Please don't balance the budget on the backs of our children.
In a plea to state lawmakers, Portland public school leaders laid out what they call is a dire situation. Now, this comes as the district faces a huge budget deficit. This year's gap, $50 million. Thomas Schultz has the details.
Well, this is the third year in a row that Portland Public could significantly slash its budget. $50 million in budget cuts would lead to 300 employees losing their jobs. Now, PPS is also looking into closing schools. There's a bunch of reasons the biggest school district in Oregon finds itself in this hole, namely declining enrollment, rising cost, cuts in federal funding, and the issue school board members have talked about for years here, not enough state funding. Some parents have long argued the Oregon legislature has never given schools adequate levels of money. Now, PPS board chair Eddie Wong says the district is asking lawmakers to explore ways to boost funding. Wong says leaders at PPS have even shown support in exploring a state sales tax to fund education.
It's not fun anymore. It's pretty difficult. And right now in PPS, the morale is at an all-time low.
Our educators and our students are doing all that they can, and we just need our state and the funds to follow.
Armstrong adds that these cuts would lead to a 7% reduction in the workforce at Portland Public. She does say that over the next 6 to 9 months, though, they'll explore ways of trying to get creative and maybe keeping some of those employees. One solution that they're possibly looking at is closing some schools. At Portland Public Schools headquarters in North Portland, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
And now to Salem, where a battle over Oregon's farmland is moving forward with a new bill focused on agritourism. It's raising the question, when does a farm stop being a farm and turn into something more commercial? This bipartisan bill would remove revenue caps and allow larger farm store structures. Opponents of the bill say they're concerned it would expose protected farmland to commercial development, potentially raising land prices and hurting smaller farmers.
We have the public out, they're paying admission fees, they're buying food. All that extra revenue is actually just allowing us to reinvest in our business. By eliminating income restrictions, it stops us from worrying about selling one too many donuts or having one too many guests show up.
Agritourism is a way for farmers to make a little bit of extra money, not for event venue owners to have a beautiful venue on farmland. And when that happens, we start to see real farmers being priced out of agricultural land.
The bill says counties can still regulate parking, traffic, and noise. It also requires that people actively farm at least half of their land. Well, boaters going down Malala River should be on the lookout for a log jam. It is fully blocking the river channel at mile 38. That's near Horse Creek Bridge. People can launch instead from the Turner Creek Bridge, but you should still be on the lookout for blockages. The Bureau of Land Management is putting up warning signs as it looks into what to do about this jam.